Albert Joseph Saddleman, one of the 42,000 Canadians who died in the Second World War. In January 1943, he bid his wife and 3 daughters goodbye to enlist with the Canadian Army here in Vernon, British Columbia. Just south of town is the Vernon military camp, a staple of the area since 1912. The camp had flourished during the First World War as one of the main training areas in the interior of the province, but in the interwar years it shrunk back to a summer training location for small militia units. With the outbreak of the Second World War in September 1939, the Vernon camp was once again called into action. By the end of 1940, it had been greatly expanded. Soldiers from all over BC and Canada came here to prepare for the coming overseas battles. My SSHRC-funded research studies the activities of the Vernon military camp during the Second World War. No previous studies have been done on the camp during this period, making my research foundational. Vernon is my hometown, and I have used local connections and an intimate knowledge of the area to ensure that this research will be as thorough as possible. Exactly 79 years ago, Albert Saddleman began his basic army training at the Vernon camp. He was one of the thousands of soldiers who began their military experience in Vernon between 1940 and 1946. Not only was the Vernon camp a basic training center, but in 1942 it became the central location of a specialized training method called battle drill. Battle drill had been pioneered by the British Army. The purpose of it was to introduce soldiers to conditions that were closer to what they would experience in battle. While they climbed rope ladders, bullets would whiz around them. Animal entrails would be added to the muddy creeks that they had to crawl through. Battle drill was about introducing soldiers' senses to the conditions of war. Coldstream Ranch, a commercial cattle ranch on the outskirts of Vernon, became the location for a specialized battle drill training area. Thanks to SSHRC funding, I have been able to conduct research at both local and national archives. SSHRC has also provided me with the opportunity to travel overseas in the coming months, where I will learn more about the British origins of battle drill and how it came to Vernon. The Vernon military camp remains standing on Highway 97 entering Vernon, making it a common sight for residents and visitors alike. Despite its importance to the history of Vernon and the wider Canadian war effort, awareness of the camp's significance is limited. While the common wartime narrative often takes the imagination east to Europe, I aim to bring Canadian attention back to the home front. The Vernon camp is a living historic site with some of the last intact Second World War Army barracks left in the country. It is still used by the Canadian military today. For soldiers like Albert Saddleman, their war began in Vernon. Researching the history of the camp will bring a part of their story to life.